Hello, Gemini. This is Lisa with Inspired Heart Intuitive here for your July 15th to the 21st, your weekly reading for July 15th to 21st, 2018. Here at this channel, we're here to help you lead a spirit-led, whole, and healed, peaceful, and prosperous life. So Gemini, please be sure you hit the like, subscribe, and that bell button so you get notified as soon as I put up new content or I go live. And please leave me some comments too. I love to read the comments and reply back and really just have an awesome time, like really getting to know you guys. Okay, so we're going to get started with your reading. So Gemini, coming in to the week, you got the Temperance card in the upright. So the card of Sagittarius here. This is really the card of mixing, daydreaming with new ideas, with philosophies, with, just kind of mixing and matching, like making your dreams become passions, which then become realities. So this is a really, to me, it's a good card to come into it with, like being open to new ways of doing things and being open to analyzing how we've been operating up until now. What you have coming into this, your energy, is the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. This also kind of ties back into the energies coming towards you, where you're really looking at the harvest, making sure to see if you've planted on good ground or not. Really examining yourself, examining your actions recently, and looking at the fruit of those actions and seeing, is this really something that I want to do? Is this, where am I at? What am I doing? Is this right? Just looking at everything over, which being contemplative and introspective, which is a really good spot to be, I always feel. Potentially what could be holding you back, excuse me, this week is the Death card in the reverse. So this could be not being very willing to, excuse me, not being really very willing to go forward, allow things to die, allow what's not serving you, allowing the not really allowing the new things to come on board, right? Not really allowing to go yourself into the new cycle, kind of fighting against it a little bit. What's going to help in this, though, is this Knight of Swords in the reverse. So actually less communication, less information, in this case, is actually going to help you. Because sometimes we can become overloaded with information and there's just too many stimulus, too much coming in at once. And Gemini, for you, that could prove to be rather overwhelming, where you're just like, I don't know which way to go. It's just too much. So cutting off that influx of communication, messages back and forth between a number of different people, can actually help you then be happy in and be comfortable with the transformation that that's trying to be achieved here, with the Death card in the reverse in the obstacle position. So that actually will help you. Now, the potential outcome or advice is the Moon in the reverse. That says to me that you have to be willing to allow yourself to see things for what they are and not be afraid to do so, and not be afraid to go forward, even if you're only directed by moonlight. In this picture, if you notice, that boat is still going towards the exit, right? There's kind of like this exit and out into the great blue sea. And the only guide that they have is the moon. So sometimes you're not going to have sunlight to light your path. Sometimes it's only going to be the light of the moon, which is really your intuition. That gut feeling, following the peace, right, is going to be the only way that you're going to find your way through. Yep, and the Queen of Swords here in the reverse. So this is another where she wanted to come out, where it's like you've got to be comfortable in not necessarily cutting things out. You need to become comfortable in hearing that voice from within say, hey, look, this is the way we need to go. Because you're just not sure what to say and how to say it, right? So let's get some clarification. Why is the Seven of Pentacles here in the reverse? Why is the Seven of Pentacles here in the reverse? Why is the Seven of Pentacles here? Oh, she still wants to come out, right? The Seven of Pentacles in the reverse is here because as the Queen of Swords in the reverse here and then the Judgment card in the upright, both as clarifiers here for the Seven of Pentacles, that tells me that prior to now, you may have cut some things out. You may have cut some people out of your life. You may have been like, this ain't working. I gotta stop this. But now you're questioning whether or not you should have soon. But also, honestly, what you did was for your higher good. Don't second guess yourself. You've been in that time where you've been doing a lot of introspection, and you're coming out of that now, kind of ready to emerge. You're also ready to not be so independent and start really collaborating with other people. And you're seeing that your ships are in fact going to come in, and you're starting to take baby steps towards that this week and become less burdened with those things that you don't really need to be burdened by, right? You're kind of moving out of that time period of feeling like you got to hold everything together, like you're willing to partner with someone now, or you're coming into that point, and it might be a little uncomfortable for you because you don't really necessarily want to. You're so very used to being very independent and able to handle everything on your own that for right now, it's just like, oh, really? Like, I've always been able to do this on my own. There are times you've got to partner up with someone, really. Honestly, you got to be able to partner up with somebody. And this is going to come into a time of celebration, okay? So let's look at the Death card in reverse and see why is the Death card here in reverse. You know, I just hear it's okay to ask for help, Gemini. It's really okay to ask for help. You don't have to have all the answers all the time. It's all right. And if you're coming into a time period where you really do need the advice and the counsel of someone wise, it's really okay. All right. So we have a Queen of Pentacles. So perhaps Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy here. Perhaps they are asking you to kind of step out of your comfort zone and step into something a little bit, stepping out of your comfort zone and asking you to kind of come to a point where you're more grounded, right, and more stable, but they're encouraging you to do so. And with this Knight of Wands in the upright also, it's time to rest, okay? It is time to say, okay, I've done a lot of good work. I've got some good things going here. Now it's time to take a step back and recover and recuperate. And you're kind of wishing for yesteryear and when things were probably a lot easier, or things just really went your way. And with the Queen of Wands in reverse, you might not be feeling very self-confident about that, because this is, again, you're coming out of this level, of the high level of independence. However, what you're going to find with the Nine of Cups in the upright is that the end result of that is going to be fruitful, prosperous, and you're going to look around and be able to say, you know what? Yeah, we did accomplish some pretty awesome things, okay? So this Knight of Swords here in the reverse. Why is the Knight of Swords here in the reverse, please? Why is the Knight of Swords here in reverse? The Knight of Swords. Why is the Knight of Swords here in? So, right, this is the time, really, so this is probably a time not to do a whole lot of spending, to be very grounded in your spending, be very budget conscious, kind of, you know, hoarding a little bit, saving a little bit, and you've been working very hard towards this, but but you're also kind of like getting a little burned out. So you got to really pay attention to that and get some rest. And here's Aries energy right here with the Emperor. So this is really time to kind of say, okay, I've built my kingdom. I've built this foundation. I have everything in place. You work very hard for it. But again, coming back to that Nine of Wands energy, right? You do need to take the rest. You do need to say it's, you know, there's a time to work, there's a time to rest. You've got to rejuvenate. You got to make sure that you have the energy to do so, because there's brand new adventures along that are coming towards you. And with this King of Cups in the reverse, be very careful that you're not being, you're probably coming out of actually a time of being pretty kind of standoffish and aloof. You're ready to kind of move more so into a Queen of Cups energy. And then also with the Tower card, this is a major change for you. This is a different direction, you know, being much more frugal, much more grounded, considered, you know, really considering hearth and home, letting that be your top priority, and moving into that energy as you're partnering with the earth energy that's around you. This is outside of the norm for you. So it can be a little uncomfortable, but it's really going to be, again, for your greater good and the greater good of you and your partner. And the moon here, what has been revealed, or what do we need to know about the moon card here in the reverse? What do we need to know about the moon card in reverse? Yep. So there was something that was going to have a really fast start, or you felt was going to start, but it did not. And you know, you really, you're okay with. You had to walk away from it. You had to release it. You had to let it go, even though you thought it was going to start. But this is actually what turned out to be with the Knight of Pentacles in the upright, even though it was the more careful, more conservative choice. It turned out to be a good choice, and you're going towards that, and you're working towards that. So see, this is all foundational, okay? And you've been resisting a little bit the partnerships that have been offered to you because you felt like you didn't quite have enough information, or perhaps you felt like there was some manipulation going on. But really, the cards to me are saying, but the Cancer's card in the Chariot, push forward with this foundational, that's the direction to go in. In other words, the foundational conservative direction that is that Queen of Pentacles, home, hearth, security, energy. That's the energy you need to move in, even if it's for a short time, because on the other side of that is going to be some fantastic returns of investment. Okay. All right, Gemini, that's what I have for you for this week. I think it's a good week for you, okay? You guys have put in a lot of hard work, and you've come through a lot. You've really been, I've noticed in the daily readings, you guys have really been, like, trying to figure out people's motivations, secrets, whatnot, okay? And I feel like it's all coming together now, finally, for you, which is really good. So just rest in that. Enjoy that. All right, guys, so please don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe, and that bell button so that you are aware of when I put up new content or when I go live, which tends to be pretty often. And also, please leave me some comments. I would really appreciate it. And I'd like to hear from folks and get to know you a little bit and just kind of converse with you that way. All right, guys, until we meet again, have a fantastic week. Peace, love, joy, and blessings be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. Namaste, my friends. Bye-bye.